What's up, witches? It's Luna. I'm here for another unboxing for you today. And we are looking at the Samurai Tarot. This is by Massimiliano Filadoro and Giancarlo Caracuzzo. Obviously by Llewellyn and Lo Scarabeo. This is actually, I don't know if I have this on any other decks. There's Llewellyn and Lo Scarabeo on this box. Wow. 78 cards for divining with instructions. And here we have Tarot del Samurai. Tierra, Fuego, Agua, Viento. Okay. Earth, fire, water, wind, and space are the 5 rings within which the samurai's road of honor winds. A journey of inner improvement in strength, in search of the strength and serenity concealed in one's own spirit. So I love that they reference the 5 rings, Book of the 5 Rings by, is that Miyamoto Musashi? I can't remember which one who wrote that, but it's a method of study for samurai. Samurai Tarot, Lo Scarabeo. Obviously, we are going to have very few pages for English. 14 pages. So, let's take a look. This could be, this is part of those LS decks, Lo Scarabeo decks. Traditional Japanese imagery done by Italians. 2006 is the copyright here. And we will find out. Sometimes, let's see, the artwork is Giancarlo Caracuzzo. Massimiliano Filadoro is the writing. Yes, the instructions. So this is from that gang of LS decks where I always have the impression that the publishers said, we want something like this. This is trendy. Do me a deck like this. And then they hired the people. So let's see. Usual format of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 languages on there. Here's the Fool. And as always, now I'm already getting a disconnect because this is done in a very traditional kind of style. And then we go here and we get a very LS anime-ish, almost slapdashy style. I mean, look at the artwork. It's very sketchy. We've got a line sketch and then some watercolor washes. But here we have an old man walking along a path with a fish, and there's a little dragon there. So not walking off of a cliff, but he's certainly heading out on an adventure. Then we go to the magician, and we have, one assumes, a warrior sitting at, I don't know, tea? What's that thing? We've got a katana and a bowl and a something else. Wondering if this represents maybe the coin, the wand, the sword, the cup. High Priestess. She certainly has a book of knowledge and 4 arms. The Empress. Oh, look at her. And there were female samurais. The Emperor. I am so attracted because I love everything Japanese. Always have. Here's the Hierophant. They call him the priest here. And look at him at the water with the animals under the full moon. That's lovely. The Lovers dancing in the clouds. The Chariot. Oh. There was a series, and I need to contact this person and get this back, but there was a Japanese series called Furin Kazan, Flags of the Samurai, I think it meant. And Gacto, if you don't know who Gact is, was in it. And it was a fabulous series. I mean, I got like a bootleg copy with the translations were a little bit sketchy with the subtitles, but it was fabulous. It was an amazing, amazing series. I'm going to hunt for it again. That's just what it reminded me of, I guess, the costuming. That was an entirely pointless story there. Justice. So Justice is seen as kind of this huge being in the sky over top of the palace. That's pretty cool. The monk. Instead of the hermit, we have the monk. And look how happy he is, sitting with the animals too. But does he look much like a monk? I don't know. He's got this huge bag behind him. He is not missing any meals. Okay, the wheel. Look at the... Oh. Look at that. Really dynamic. Okay, let's slice the dragon in half. Cutting through the wheel. Interesting. Strength is a sumo. Again, that dragon. So we've got the dragons coming through everything. The Hanged Man, look at this. They've pulled him up by his leg and he's still fighting. Oh my. Death. Temperance. So we are sticking fairly closely to the foundation of the standard imagery. You got the devil here. What the hell is he riding on? Oh, wild boar. Woof. The tower. Coming down, weapons upheld. So this is kind of looking like almost a victory thing. I don't know. Is that a battle going on? I guess that's a battle while the tower burns. Certainly would make sense for the card. There's the stars, the moon, just the moon and the crayfish, the sun. She's got a mirror. Interesting. And judgment. And the world with the yin-yang there. Like a ribbon dancer. Beautiful. Now we go on to the Pentacles first. Ace of Pentacles, they're crossing a bridge. There's the two. Certainly looking at opulence, as the geisha are here to entertain him. The geisha, who were not prostitutes, by the way, they were entertainers. They were professional escort entertainers. The 3 of mastery. The 4, opulence and materialism. 5. Okay. It's a beautiful image. Look at the leaves. So we see leaves and flowers falling and this sad look, and she's reading something with sadness. So you do kind of get the idea of something fading away, maybe, kinda, or sad news. And then we get the 6 of Pentacles. Wow. Is this kabuki or no theater? A performance giving away something? I'm trying to connect that with the standard. The 7 of Pentacles, and they're jumping in water. The 8. All right, there's the apprenticeship. That makes sense. The 9. And again, we get water and the moon. And this is Pentacles. So I got to look this up. Certainly this is a deck that you could just go straight in and, do your own interpretations, because the images lend themselves to that. All right, 9. Rest. On the sea with many islands, the moon descends, cradled by the songs of the fishermen. I don't see any fishermen. I guess those are boats. I thought these look like leaves to me, but I guess those are boats. So rest is the key word for the 9 of Pentacles. And the 10 says roots. So we do have one keyword for each thing. The ace was materiality. 2, pleasure. 3, falling in love. 4, exchange. 5 was melancholy. 6, pretense. 7, wealth. 8, commitment. 9, rest. And 10, roots. Very interesting. And we don't have... Where are the court cards? Okay, the court cards come after. So let's look at this first set of court cards. So roots, this says roots. She's obviously in a very opulent place. That actually looks like a cemetery. I think that might be it's a shrine, I believe, back there. And we've got a turtle and a rooster. All right, let's see what it says about the court cards. We start with the knave. The actor kabuki Ichikawa Danjuro. Theater, hard work that leads to success, pleasure of fame, frivolousness. The knight is Minamoto Yoritomo, the first shogun. Discipline in spite of adversity. So these are actual historical figures in the court cards. This is a kabuki actor. The queen is Daruma, sensuality, independence, pleasure of money, and the senses, shrewdness. Daruma. That sounds like Dharma. And the king, the monk Kukai, patience, conquering the material world, influential, friendship, severity. Let's see, the rest of the courts, Soga, Shoki. Very interesting, just very interesting. Okay, now we are into wands. Let's go through the keywords again. Why not? Undertaking. Imprudence. Confidence. Why must the dragon unearth the foxhole? Live from moment to moment and do not grieve. Okay. Celebration. The Four of Wands. We could see that for sure. Come on. Dancing. Introspection. If you understand that you cannot beat the others, you'll understand the path to conquering yourself. Okay. Sacredness. Torii Gate. The 7 is evaluation. The 8 is necessity. The Tengu spirits dispute the sky with the crows and the hawks. Torment, the 9 of Wands, and ghosts for the 10 of Wands. Free the mind of prejudice and learn to watch. The greatest fear is often impalpable, like the wing of a moth. All right, let's go to the courts. The Soga brothers, Shoki, the hunter of demons. The author Murasaki Shikibu, and the monk Shidoken. All right. 2 swords. No. Chalices, obviously. The ace is... And you know what? Here, let me back up a second here because I just saw something else. In the suits... So the majors, it says it's associated with space, understood as the essence of the phenomena of the universe. Here, the mythic and primordial soul of Japan is presented through its gods and heroes. Then we had, and for each of the majors, we have keywords too, the origin, listening to oneself. And I'm seeing that it's not the high priestess, it's the goddess. Creation, strategist, flow, love, discipline, inner divinity, zen, time, vision, isolation, illusion, purification, deceit, fire, dream, space, the present, the depths, the path, and the inner center. And the Fool comes at the end in this deck. Okay. So, Pentacles, the Arcana of the Pentacles, represent daily life in ancient Japan, that which is tangible and concrete. The journey of the young samurai begins with everyday life. Wands. To improve his spirit, the samurai competes with himself and his unconscious, represented by desires, fears, and weaknesses that take the form of spectral apparitions. Interesting that we're talking about wands as the unconscious, but it's fire. All right. Chalices. Having traveled the night of the soul, represented by the creatures of the unconscious, the samurai encounters the evolution of his emotions reflected in nature, Zen. So this suit is about Zen. The principle of Mizu, water. Principle of He is fire. Chi is earth. This is adaptability. Love. Creation. Cycles. Apprehensions. Dreams. Oh, what a lovely image. Illusions. The Seven of Cups. Yep, that's pretty close to standard. Relinquishment. Renunciation, walking away from the world there. The 9 is serenity or quiet. And the 10 is completeness. There's Fujiyama. And the courts for the chalices are Tenjin, patron of calligraphy. The archer, Minamoto no Taretomo. The queen is the poetess, Ono no Komachi. And the king is the monk Nichiren. All right, now we go to the swords. Swords represent the destination of the journey undertaken by the samurai, a destination that will, however, reconnect with previous journeys in an infinite spiral. The code of the Bushido becomes the intimate disposition of the soul of the samurai. Bushido is just the way of the warrior. Principle of Kaze, wind, which is thought. Thought is a sword whose true purpose is not to kill, but to divide what is important from what is not. So here we have, yes, that's thought. The initial one is thought. Balance. There's the blindfolds. Security. No weapon. My armor is my will. Teaching. Valor. The 5 of swords. The 6 of swords tied to an old travel. Maybe travel. Extravagance. The 7 of swords. 8 is perception. The 9 is climbing back. You trip and have fallen 7 times. 8, get back up and rise again. Yep, fall down 7, get up 8. Acceptance. The nobility of a lineage is not important when its time is finished. I mean, very Japanese meanings here. Then the courts for the swords are Oboshi Yoranosuke, head of 47 Ronins. Those are wandering. The Knight of Swords, Miyamoto Musashi. Here we go. There's a manga called Vagabond that is about Miyamoto Musashi, who's a real figure, historical figure, and it's amazing. Queen of Swords, the Heron Maiden, and the King of Swords is the monk Takuan. All right. So the whole samurai ethos in Japan is about just resolve, deathly resolve. There's a thing where they talk about, when you go into battle as a samurai, you go in to die. You go in with the purpose that I'm going to die the best way I can. So you have nothing held in reserve. And that's what makes them so deadly, is they're not afraid of death. They're seeking it out. And if you think about the whole harakiri, which I can't remember the other name of right now. Harakiri. Anyway, to, when prisoners were captured, or, one area conquered another, and the lord of that, they would capture him, and they didn't kill people, they made people kill themselves. So, I mean, think about where you got to be in your head to be defeated and willingly pick up that blade and kill yourself in the way that they did it. There's the Japanese are incredible. There's a discipline, there's a commitment to each other, to the greater good, and there's an emotionality. Okay, so let me see if there's just a little bit going. So, ancestors and allies, guides and guardians, I didn't plug up my water from the last video, so it's still open. I offer you fresh water. Please come. Please come, please come. Give me 2 more, please. To tell us how we may move from survival into thrival today. How we may approach life with the deathly resolve of a samurai, that I am going to leave it all on the field. I hold nothing in reserve, and I do this in service. I do this in service to the greater good. I do this in service to the world and all its people. I do this in service to myself as well. All right. So we've got 5 here. Let's just put them in order. We've got the Wheel, the Queen of Chalices, 7 of Wands, the Lovers, and the Queen of Wands. All right. So let's just look at the images here. We've got that warrior slicing the wheel in half. Let's look at the wheel first. All right. Time is what it stands for. Big undertakings need the help of time. Impatience is the #1 enemy of the warrior. So you could look at this dragon as this is the wheel of time unfolding. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is, right? It's time rolling on. And here's the warrior slicing through it. So that's talking about impatience there. So this card really, rather than, fortune, it's just talking about the time that things take. So this is a radical reinterpretation of things, but it certainly fits. I mean, within its context of the warrior and Bushido, the way of the warrior and the samurai, it's saying don't be impatient. As a warrior, you need to be within the unfoldment of time. And the bigger the undertaking, the more time it takes. So being willing to be there and commit over time. All right, Queen of Chalices. The poetess Ono no Komachi, intuition, emotional and romantic soul, intelligence, sacrifice for love. All right, let's try to put this together here. So in order not to be impatient, we do need to be in touch with our emotions and processing them. Let your intuition guide you as far as the timing of things rather than your will. Your will that says now, I want things now, not moving fast enough. But your intuition can say it's time for things to slow down. It needs to take a little bit more time. Now, I do remember this one was about like assessment. Evaluation. There are times when there is no demon in the demon, no man in the man. Do you understand the difference? No, I don't. There's no demon in the demon, no man in the man. Do you understand the difference? I guess it's perception. What we think things are because of what they're named, what they symbolize to us, and looking at it instead and saying, what is the reality of this? What is the reality of this rather than my perception and my overlay? I'm going to go through all these and then see if I can pull it together because they're not holding hands to me. I always look for the thread and what I feel it like is like the cards taking hands. Suddenly they hold hands and there's a thread and a story. I'm not quite getting the thread yet. The Lovers. And, part of it is because I have to remember what each of these means because it's not the standard. Love. You cannot understand your heart if you don't have the courage to open it to others. And then the Queen of Wands. The author Murasaki Shikibu, creativity, personal magnetism, erudition, outer and inner beauty. All right. Evaluation. Time. Time. Intuition. Evaluation. Opening your heart. And what was she again? Wands. Personal magnetism, inner and outer beauty. All right. Well, we need to listen to our intuition and not be impatient, and we need to evaluate where we're at and start pouring some love into it. Pour our love, pour our magnetism into it, I guess. I don't know. What are you guys getting from this here? I mean, these three certainly make sense together. Then if we look at those two, just talking about shining your love, I guess, talking about personal magnetism and love, and it's talking about opening your heart to people, that now is the time for us to really start generating love in our lives, generating it for each other, generating it for the people close to us, generating it for the planet itself. But certainly we need to use our intuition, curb our impatience, and evaluate where we're at in this situation before we go charging forward. But there's that no demon in the demon, no man in the man. I guess this is where we stop and just really try to clearly look at where we are, get a clear picture and a grasp of the situation before we go charging forward. Gotta say, not a massive connection. I'm not feeling the connection to the message through these. However, I do feel like if you spent time with them and really learned the keywords that are on these and the meanings that they give them, I mean, there's certainly some deep things. There's no demon in the demon, no man in the man. I mean, wow. Free the mind of prejudice. Oh, I read that one before. In the House of Clouds, the lady listens attentively to the voices of the ancestors. The peach trees are blooming. Very Japanese, almost like haiku for the meanings. Wouldn't that be interesting? The monk Nichiren sings, "If your heart remains steadfast, the ice becomes hot, the snow warm." You know, image of the moon glides over the rice fields, floating like the love between man and woman. So the meanings here are really something that would be fun to spend time contemplating, to kind of tease out the meanings of the cards. I do feel like Massimiliano Filadoro did a good job there of capturing kind of that Japanese vibe. Let's take a look at these two and see if we get anything more, because this deck went pretty fast, actually. The Nine of Pentacles is rest on the sea with many islands. Moon descends cradled by the songs of the fishermen. Okay, so rest. And the Eight of Wands, the absolute opposite of rest, necessity. The Tengu spirits dispute the sky with the crows and hawks. Sooner or later, everything will become itself again. So, okay, rest. Everything's going to get back to normal. There's the message coming through there. All right, you guys, I think, you know, the times that we're going through right now, as I shoot this in November of 2020, it's saying rest. Take a deep breath. Let's kind of try to take care of ourselves going into the dark, into the winter, and rest as best we can, because things will be changing. Things will become themselves again. Think about that phrase. Let me look at that again. Everything, sooner or later, everything will become itself again. I think that's a good message to end with. I hope you got something out of that. There's a donate button below if you'd like to support my work, because this is my job now, folks. And you could also buy me a deck if you'd like me to do a personal reading for you on an unboxing video. My wish list is below. And I love, love, love all the gift decks that I've received so far. They are special. There's definitely something special about them. You can also join my Patreon and my Discord and get all kinds of little perks. And you can show up tomorrow for another unboxing. And if you're watching this early on the day that it drops, there'll be a live stream later, prayer circle. So I hope on Wednesday night's live stream, Saturday and Sunday afternoons live streams, prayer circles and readings. I hope you join me for those because they're fun. And I hope you join me tomorrow. I will see you then. Till then, this is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.